In order to get a job or to improve your skills as a developer, you must do your own projects. It is not negotiable. Nobody will check your CV if you don't have any projects in it, because there is nothing else to check there. This is why creating your own front-end projects is a must if you plan to become a front-end developer. But it is not enough to just implement some random projects. This is why I specifically prepared a list of projects with different complexity, which have certain features inside. Because we don't only want to have some projects for your CV, but in these projects you must implement typical tasks that you will get in almost every project. So what are these tasks on the front end? Project must show your skills with the language and a framework, let's say React as the most popular front-end framework. Then you must know how to write HTML and CSS with some preprocessor or a framework. You must be able to work with API as we're doing it every single day in every project. You need to know how to fully implement authentication because every single project needs authentication. And additionally, you must understand how local storage is working, how to work with state management on the client, and how you can use different third-party solutions, like for example a YouTube API or Twitter API. Now let's look on the projects that I prepared for you as ideas what you can implement. And these projects have some points that I just mentioned. And the easiest project that I highly recommend for beginners is called To Do MVC. The main idea is that it is implemented in different languages. Here we can click, for example, on React and we see how project is working. We have a list of to-dos where we can add to-dos, toggle to-dos, filter to-dos, edit to-dos, and remove to-dos. This is an amazing project to start because it is not huge, but has quite a lot of business logic. And if additionally to the client side you will implement API calls, then you will learn even more. But it is extremely important to remember that you must start small, doesn't matter which project you want to do. If you start the project and you have 100 features, you will be overwhelmed. Just start with 1 or 2 features and you can always add more features later. The next project that I really like is called Real World, and this is a fully blown production project with lots of functionality. As you can see, the GitHub link here is Go Things to Real World, and this is how the project looks like. Here we have a feed with our articles where we can jump to the article. We can follow users here like articles. We also have here a registration and login in, and feed of people who were following. This project is quite complex, so if you are looking for some guidance to implement the project of such complexity, I have the full course where I implement exactly this project from the scratch with Angular framework, and I will leave a link for it in the description box below. And this real-world project is being implemented in different front-ends and backends. This is why we can click here on the front end and we see lots of different repositories where we can select a project and check its code. And I want to remind you that the best way to learn how to implement project is jump to GitHub, find a project which is implemented in a good way and check its code. In this case, you will understand how things are working and how you can do something similar. But obviously it is important to make sure that the code that you are checking is written on a good level. Another project that you might want to implement is also quite big, and this is a React e-commerce shop. This is a repository that I found on GitHub, and this project looks like this. So we have a list of different articles, we can add them to the basket, and then you can click on the basket and check what is added there. And you can start simple here and increase complexity a lot. By adding registration of the user, sending emails, creating categories and pagination for products, and much more. And one more project that I want to show you is a financial management tool. Here on GitHub also you can check this repository, and this is how it looks like. So we're getting inside and there is a testing email and password. And we see here our profile with nice diagrams. Here we have income tracker, expense tracker. We can add some income that we earned today, select the category, the date, add taxation, and click Add Income. This is quite a big project with lots of different features. But these were just ideas for you if you don't know which project you want to implement. It doesn't make any sense to pick some project that you are not interested in implementing. It will simply be boring for you and you won't progress a lot. it is much better to pick some project that is interesting for you. It might be a bookstore, a clone of Twitter or YouTube. Most importantly, you must want to implement it. And if you want to check this Angular course where we're implementing this real-world project that I just showed you, make sure to check this video also where we're doing that.